Hello, this is Jeff Bell with ABA Advisors, your accounting firm business broker. One of the frequently asked questions we get from accountants, CPAs, and EAs we talk to about selling their firm is, what do you think the value could be for my firm when I go to sell it? As I've mentioned before in other videos, location is one of the 24 2 dozen attributes or characteristics that buyers look at when they go to evaluate, investigate, and eventually acquire a firm. And here's a quick example of how location can affect the value or the sale price of your firm. Let's say you live in Blackfoot, Idaho, population 13,000, and you have a $500,000 revenue firm, and you're only one of 17 accounting firms in Blackfoot. Because of its quote-unquote location and the number of potential buyers in the area, you might end up selling it for 0.8 times gross or $400,000, and it could take 2 years to do it, or the other accountants in town see your listing and they know they can just wait it out. They don't even have to know that you are the one selling it, and they can wait it out for you just to close your firm and pick up your clients for free down the road. Now let's move your firm to the Midwest to Kokomo, Indiana, population 60,000, where the average household income is about 54,000. Now you're one of 80 or more accounting firms in the city, and you might end up selling it for 1 times gross, and it could take you about a year to do it. By the way, we'll market to all those 80 firms, and 8 might be interested in buying that particular firm, and we could get 2 offers and eventually pick the best one. Now let's move your firm to Brooklyn, New York, population 2.7 million in Kings County on Long Island. You know, there are over 100,000 accountants in New York City, and Brooklyn is a really big chunk of what makes that up. So let's guess and say there's about 25,000 accountants. Now, here's a little secret, so don't tell anyone, but I already have about 1,000 of those accountants and CPAs there in Brooklyn inside our registered buyer database that are actively looking to acquire an accounting firm. So just with my internal list alone, I can probably get 100 of them to raise their hand, become interested in your firm, sign NDAs, and have a dozen offers in hand within 1 to 2 months' time. And your purchase price might be in the range of 1.3 to 1.5 times gross revenue. All things being equal, will likely close in 4 to 6 months. As a matter of fact, I remember the very first time I ever listed and sold on Long Island. It was back in, I think, 2020 in the town of Huntington, and it sold for 1.5 times gross, 100% cash at closing, and it was right in the middle of the COVID-19 pandemic. Now, to be fair to quote-unquote location, just within Long Island, if you take that same firm you have in Brooklyn, start moving it 20 miles east to Nassau County, or even further east up the island towards the Hamptons and Suffolk County, it may be worth even more than 1.5 times gross. It could and might sell between 1.5 to 2 times gross revenue. Why? Well, because it's the Hamptons one, and because the average household income in Suffolk County is 128,000, which is more than twice the household income of people in Kokomo, Indiana. These are affluent clients, lots of income, and you as a practitioner can get away with charging more for the same tax returns in New York and the Hamptons versus what you can charge here in the Midwest and so on. So in summary, even though location is just one of 2 dozen factors in determining value or purchase price, it is one of the larger influences on value, and there are 23 other factors that can affect value. For more information on those other 23 factors that affect value and price, you can watch a short video of a webinar I recently hosted titled Finding the Right Buyer for Your Accounting, CPA, or EA Practice in 2025 or 2026 and beyond. You can click on the link in this description to watch the video, or if you're interested in selling your firm this year, we've written an article you can read on our website titled For the Right Price, Would You Sell Your Firm? You can again click on the link in this description to read the article. And if you've worked your last tax season or have a question about the process of selling your firm, leave me a comment or send me an email at jeff@acctSales.com, and I'll answer it for you.